Your Excellency President Paul Kagame and your delegation, first of all, I welcome you to Uganda, which is your home, literally and metaphorically. Secondly, I congratulate you, first of all, for assuming the chairmanship of the African Union for this year, and more especially for the successful conference of the Continental Free Trade Area, which was recently held in Kigali. We have used these hours to have very fruitful discussions on a number of areas, especially on the issue of the railway, on the issue of the supply of electricity, on the issue of airline operations, and also on the issue of security between our two countries, but also in the region. Therefore, I'm very happy with the short visit. Thank you for squeezing in time. As the current chairperson of the African Union, you have got a lot of work, but I thank you for finding time coming here so that we deal with these very important points we discussed. I don't want to go into the details, but we agreed on all points and on how to proceed forward. So I'm very happy, and I wish success to the people of Rwanda and to the RPF party.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency President Museveni, for being a very gracious host for me personally and my delegation. It's always a pleasure to visit with you and be here in Uganda for various reasons, among them what you have just stated. This time around, additionally, the discussions we had, again, for me personally and others, I will say with great satisfaction, and it is our desire to make sure that every time we meet like this, it is an opportunity for us to move further steps in the direction of strengthening our friendship, our fraternity, and it's our people going to benefit from what we can do together. And there are many things that the two countries working together will benefit the people on both sides. Equally important, what we discussed as matters relating to our region and our continent are also very important. And I had the opportunity to brief the President directly on what happened during the summit we held recently in Kigali, dealing with the African Continental Free Trade Area, and that went well. It was very successful, and also congratulated and commended Uganda and President Museveni for their participation and their significant contribution in making that a success. So, President, thank you very much once again.
Thank you.
We'll take a few questions. Please, President Kasasira.
I'm called President Kasasira. I work with Diamante. I would like the two presidents to comment on the reports in the media that have been going on that the Rwandans in Uganda are being harassed. And we also hear reports that they are being harassed because they do spying.
We discussed that issue. The answer for that is close cooperation between the intelligence services so that they get facts on each case. I think there has been not enough coordination, not only for the intelligence side, but even on the development side. When we talk of the railway, we talk of the electricity. It seems people don't use these phones. The phones are there. In 1986, Uganda had 28,000 telephone lines. We now have 23 million telephone lines. I don't know how many are in Rwanda. But people don't use them to telephone. You find the minister finds a lot of difficulty to telephone another minister in Rwanda and say, please, this one. So I think we need some course in telephoning. So that things are very simple. If there is something here, somebody is saying this, like these people who may have done this here, done that there, why not consult by telephoning? Recently, you remember the girl who was kidnapped and killed. One of the suspects is in South Africa. I picked a telephone and I rang President Ramaphosa myself because it had come to, and action was taken. So even in these cases, the people involved, if they could only work closely, I think a lot of confusion would be avoided. Because there is nothing substantive. When I listened carefully, when I met His Excellency in Addis Ababa, he gave me some facts which I followed up, and I have now been able to report to him on each one of them. So what is the problem? If something has happened, what are the facts? Discuss what is the truth. If there is merit, then you can take a legal action. Like for instance, some weeks ago, weeks, there was a group which was being suspected of being recruited to go through Tanzania to some place, to Burundi, I think, or Banyarwanda, who said they were going for missionary work, for church work. But apparently, when they were interrogated, it was found that the work was not exactly religious, for something else. But this came through cooperation, through just contact. That's what I would want to comment on that one. But there is no fundamental conflict between Rwanda and Uganda. I don't see. We don't even have a border problem, a border question. At least with Kenya, you can say with Kenya, there is a Mijingo, which we have not resolved, where we need to survey. With Tanzania, there is the issue of 1 latitude south. The border of Uganda and Tanzania is supposed to be at 1 latitude south. But when they measured in 1916, they put it short of that. So that issue is there. We have never resolved it. With the Congo, there is Rukwanzi Island. That island called Rukwanzi. But with Rwanda, there is nothing. There is no issue, really. In my opinion, I don't see it. Want to say something?
Well, President, you have said everything. I don't think I would add anything to that other than what you emphasized in terms of cooperation, working together more deeply and bringing facts to be based on to take the right decisions. I don't think there is anything else I can add.
Yeah. With Mr. Gashegu.
Thank you. My question goes to both Your Excellencies. My name is Gashegu Mulamira. I write for the New Times, a Rwandan daily paper. My question is basically on private sector engagement by both Rwanda and Uganda. There used to be much private sector engagement, both pushed at heads of state level. Remember, we used to have the Uganda-Rwanda business forums, which have died out, we no longer have them. And there is a gap in the push to have the private sector engage in both countries. For example, there is need for investment in higher education by the private sector, and we don't see this push coming up. How far have we gone with those efforts? Thank you.
Well, I think we have ourselves, all of us, to blame for not making a thing like that is useful work for us. So maybe I would suggest what the Foreign Affairs Minister said, Mr. Kutesa, about the Permanent Joint Commission. Why wouldn't they help us speed up that? With the private sector, I don't see why there should be any problem at all. So it's a question, well, the private sector, people themselves need to really reactivate whatever was working and is no longer working, and for us on our side, in my view, we can give them the political support required for that to be accelerated.
That's exactly it. Because the interests are clear. There are things Rwanda produces which we need here. Like, for instance, we have a huge iron ore deposit in Kawari, Muko. But in order to remove oxygen from iron ore, you need gas. We have discovered oil in Lake Albert, and it has got some gas, but the gas is not too much. It's not like Tanzania, which has got a lot of gas, or like Rwanda, which has got gas from Lake Kivu. And in any case, Lake Kivu is nearer Muko than, for instance, Albert. If you are to pipe gas from Lake Albert, assuming the gas was enough, but we don't have enough gas. What we have is may not be enough to do also the processing of steam. So the people of industry, this should be part of the plan. How are you going to develop the steel industry? We are now building these huge railways all over the place. We are building the power stations, like the ones we are building at Karuma, and the steel is being imported. it would have been better to use our steel here, because the steel we are having, this one of recycled, is not good for dams, it's not good for the railway, it's not good for high-rise buildings. And we are going to build more dams, more high-rise buildings, and we have this resource here. Rwanda has got gas, we have got iron ore. So why should we import steel from Singapore, from what? You find that the freight alone, the transport alone is almost equal to the value of the product. There's what we call guhaha. Gashegu yari Munyarwanda. Gashegu uri Munyarwanda. Munyarwanda bose. Gashegu niki? Eshegu niki?
Gashegu ni umuntu. Gashegu ni umuntu uvuga ukuri.
Oriko?
Uvuga ukuri.
Uvuga ukuri is what?
Truth. It tells the truth.
Oh, Shegu.
Gashegu, yes.
I thought a shegu was this one which will blow the fruit. Oh, this is another one. Oh.
Thank you, Prince.
So there's what we call in Kinyarwanda guhaha. Banyankole call it okshaka. So oksaka to buy something from other people. In fact, we are guhaha, things we shouldn't guhaha, we should do. And the closer we work together, the better. So the Ministry of Planning should develop a project with Rwanda to see how to build. We are building the steel industry in the east, in Tororo, using the iron ore there. But how about this side? Moko, together with Lake Chief. Can we have two questions and then we go to...
Yeah. Mr. Mohammed.
Thank you. My name is Guy Mohammed. I work with Chimp Reports here in Uganda. My question goes to President Kagame. There are reports that some Ugandans living in Rwanda are having their employment contracts terminated under mysterious circumstances. But they are verbally told that maybe next month we don't expect you to be here. So how do you respond to that? Thank you.
Well, that is similar to the question that was asked earlier. There are so many things that are said, sometimes out of context or reported out of context. So what I think we have agreed to do, and that was stated, was for the concerned institutions on both sides working together. They can get to the bottom of any matter that has been raised, and I think we could get the right information, in which case you will get to know the details.
Thank you. Lastly, Mr. Kaira.
Your Excellencies, my question regards this situation, the security situation in the DRC. As Chairman of AU, Your Excellency Paul Kagame, and Your Excellency President Museveni, what are you doing to deal with the situation in the DRC? Because right now, huge influx of refugees is coming in, and I think for the security of these two countries as well, there might be an issue. Naomba tafadhali kama itawezekana tupate na jibu la Kiswahili katika jibu hilo. Nashukuru.
The chairman of the African Union.
Well, I will say something, but not in Kiswahili. I want to be accurate in what I'm saying. I don't want to be faulted for saying something I didn't intend to say if I were to attempt Kiswahili. DRC is of big concern to everyone, starting with the neighbors, and particularly Uganda, which has already had spillovers from that situation, affecting Uganda, having hundreds of thousands, or maybe there will be more, even more tomorrow. So that's a big problem. And I'm sure the other neighbors of DRC are being affected similar or different ways, but everyone is affected. But there is even the Congolese themselves. I'm sure a situation like that that produces so many refugees in such a short time, and the problems that have also been there for many years. That's why the UN has been present in Congo for now a couple of decades. We have MONUSCO there, a UN force. It's because of problems that were there. Now what we are seeing today is not an end to those problems, but rather more problems coming up. So definitely these are matters of great concern to neighbors, to the region, and to the international community, the wider international community beyond the region and others. So we are trying to see, and we should maybe be moving faster or doing more. First, as a region, can we find a way of doing something that will be relevant to addressing the problems in DRC as we know them? That we intend to do that. We are already talking. In fact, it was part of the discussion we had with President Museveni. We need to work with the UN that is already present to tell us beyond what they are already doing and have been doing for so many years, that has not produced good results. What else do they intend to do, or what can we do together to make sure that the situation in Congo is stabilized, to stop producing more refugees or displacements of people in such numbers, and affecting the security of neighboring countries. When we say that, we talk about neighboring countries, but of course we always have to bear in mind as well the Congolese themselves must be suffering a lot, so there's something we can do. So that for now, that is what I can say, that people are very aware, very conscious of what it needs, that there is a sense of urgency in finding what can be done to try and deal with the matter of DRC.
Ndavuga ula chairman wa Africa wavuze. What the chairman has said is also what I said. Nasema maneno ambayo yanafanana na ya mwenyekiti wa African Union. Sina neno lingine tofauti. Tunajadiliana sisi wote, lakini Kongo ni swala ambalo liko na kuna watu wengi ambao wameingia kwenye swala hilo kwa muda mrefu, kwa miaka mingi sasa. Umoja wa Mataifa umekuwa kwenye mgogoro wa Kongo. Kwa hiyo ni wajibu wao kuongoza kutafuta suluhisho kwa hiyo mgogoro. Lakini sasa hivi jambo ambalo limeongezeka ni jambo la wakimbizi. Wakimbizi ambao wanaingia hapa ni wengi sana, sio idadi kidogo. Kama ingekuwa idadi kidogo labda tungenyamaza, lakini kama wakimbizi wa Kongo wamefika 400,000 na wanaongezeka, wakimbizi wa Sudani ya Kusini 1,100,000, hao ambao wakimbizi ambao wamekuja zaidi peke yao, lakini wakimbizi wengine wakija na ng'ombe tutaziweka wapi? So mwenyekiti yuko hapa, tumezungumza na tutaongea na watu wengine ambao wanashughulika, lakini Umoja wa Mataifa sasa ndio kwenye mstari wa mbele kwenye hili shida, kwa sababu ni shida ambayo wamesimamia kwa muda mrefu. The UN have been supervising that problem for a long time. Since the death of Lumumba, 1960, the UN has been in Congo almost continuously. 58 years now. Lakini tutaongea nao. Bahati nzuri sisi wote tunaongea Kiingereza, tunajua lugha zao. Asante sana.
We thank their excellencies and please both delegations join them for lunch across
how about Museveni Menga? We should also get something to eat. Museveni Menga is also must meet staff.
I think they should be catered differently. There is already some facility.
Thank you.
Police from the media or large